All righty, if we can get everybody kind of take a seat, settle down, we can get started. Looks like we got a good crowd, so we're happy. So just say good evening. Thank you to all of you folks for coming. It's a great showing. And to all the candidates for taking the time to be here. And to WETC, who always manages to make us look good no matter how bad we fumble. So, most of you probably know who North Weymouth Civic Association is. If you don't know, we're all volunteer organization, been around for 50 plus years, working for the betterment of North Weymouth and encouraging involvement in civic participation. See, that's when they need to make us look good. I'm sure most of you know Jim Melody was a candidate for Councilor at Large, and he recently passed away. So if we could just start with just kind of a moment of silence for Jim. Just all righty, thank you. Usually at this point we would have John Peruzzi, who was one of the founders of the Civic Association, singing a national anthem. And John's recovering at home from a fall, and he's not able to be here tonight. And believe me, you don't want to hear me sing.
Oh, come on.
So we're going to go straight to tonight's event. The format for tonight will be that each candidate will have up to 5 minutes to introduce themselves to you and explain their platform. The timekeeper in front here will let you folks know when you're nearing the end of your 5 minutes and when your 5 minutes is up. And then she's just going to come up and hit you if you don't stop. Candidates will be speaking in the order that they're listed on the ballot. That was the fairest way to do it. It's a random drawing for the ballot, so that just keeps everything on the up and up. We're going to start with the mayoral candidate, followed by the school committee candidates, then the at-large candidates will be next, and then the District 1 candidates will finish up for us. Each candidate will come up to the podium at their turn. I do want to stress, again, and I mentioned it to all the candidates earlier, but we will not tolerate any negative comments or can't say anything bad about your opponents. This is your opportunity to toot your horn and not tear anybody else down. Just let us know what you're going to do. So, getting right to it. Mr. Melise, would you like to jump in?
Thank you, Jeff. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you to the North Weymouth Civic Association for hosting this great event. These are so important, these events. I think we all know that there's not a lot out there in newspapers or anything anymore. So to have this is great. You know, WETC here taping this and gets the word out for everybody here. For anyone who doesn't know me, my name is Mike Melise. I'm the acting mayor of Weymouth. Lifelong resident of Weymouth, coming from a large Weymouth family. In 2000, when to change the government here in the town of Weymouth, from the town meeting to the city form of government, we're now consisting of a mayor, 11 councilors, 5 at large, and 6 district councilors. I decided to get involved, never being involved in politics. That was almost 26 years ago. Since then, I've served as your councilor at large under 3 mayoral administrations. Having served on numerous council committees, long-standing committees, 21 years as chairman of the budget committee, 21 years as recreation, and 4 years as council president. This past June, Mayor Hedlund approached me to inform me he would be resigning after 9.5 years, effective July 15th. Per the Weymouth Town Charter, the council president will step in as acting mayor in the absence of the mayor. July 16th, I was sworn in as acting mayor. The transition has been very smooth. Due to my 25 years experience in the council, I feel I have the experience needed to be your mayor. Since taking office, things are going great. I hit the ground running, bringing in a great team on board. I have back with me TJ Lacey. He was on the council with me. He's now Director of Administrative Services. That'll be great. Things will be happening in Weymouth. He'll work very closely with our council. My team has had numerous meetings with Mass Development, New England Development, on moving Southfield project forward. We've met with many neighborhood associations, business groups, the Jackson Square project. We have a lot of things going on. But this year is very important with the town council, so it's great that everybody's here. We have a great group of candidates before us here tonight, all willing to dedicate their time to better our town. The town council is a very important component of our town government, so this is very important here this evening. And again, thank you to North Weymouth Civic for hosting this. Thank you to WETC for taping it. I'm looking forward to hear everybody's comments this evening. Thank you.
We're going to go next with Cindy from the school committee.
Thank you. First, thank you so much. Ooh, don't lean on this, it moves. Okay. Start over. First, thank you so much to North Weymouth Civic Association for hosting tonight, and the very impressive crowd turning out. My name is Cindy Lyons, and I am running for school committee. I am a mom of four girls who either are currently enrolled or have been enrolled in Weymouth Public Schools. I'm a former ESP, both in a traditional classroom setting as well as in a special ed. I currently hold the role of Director of Operations at Paragon Carousel. For those who don't know, it's a small nonprofit, and like any small nonprofit, we work on a shoestring budget, and I wear many hats. So some days it could include doing financing, grant writing, programming, picking up trash. Depending upon the day, it's a lot of different hats. And I think that this experience is something that I could really transition well into school committee. One of the reasons I'm running for school committee is I believe strongly in equity. I think that we have to evaluate our school system and take a look, then make sure that kids at Hamilton are getting the same exact experience that the kids in Wessagusset are, and everyone in between. I also believe that we have to fully fund our schools. And I know this past year, we were $1.9 million short in our budget, and from all accounts, it looks like this year is gonna be even tougher. And so I would use my position as a school committee member to advocate to the state to address Chapter 70 funding, but also I think that we need to get creative and look at other ways that we can get funding done, whether it is grant writing, community partnerships. And I think that we have to really truly look at ourselves and see why we are one of the #1 sending districts for kids going to charter. There was a time where my kids went to charter, and I know at that time it was the best decision for us. But I think now we are so happy to be here, and I would really think that I'd be a good person to bridge that communication between charter families as well as between charter families and Weymouth Public Schools to see why so many families are going down to Norwell and address these issues. I am running also because I believe that we need to support our teachers. They need to make sure that we have all the tools, funding, and respect that they need to get their jobs done and get done properly. I was recently asked why I was running for school committee. It's very personal for me. I have 4 children. One, she's now in 4th grade, but when she started 2nd grade, she was reading well below grade level. And we just started 1st grade and she tested top for her class, which we're very proud of. Last year, my 8th grader met Miss McCuday at Chapman Library. She is such an asset to Weymouth. My daughter read more books last year than she's read in her entire academic career. I have another child, her twin, who has medical complications. And I went to Chapman, and we were greeted with a team. And when I say that, I mean it wholeheartedly, an absolute team. Mr. Jones and his crew every day supported emails, doing whatever we had to do to make sure that she got the right supports and the right placement. And 2 weeks ago, she won Student of the Week, which is huge. A year ago, I couldn't even imagine that. And then on the last day of school last year, right before I pulled papers, I was in the car with my 12-year-old. And we were driving to school, and she said, "You know, Mom, thanks for letting me go to Chapman." I was like, "All right, why?" she said, you know, when we first started, my anxiety was an elephant, and it sat there, and it stopped me from doing everything. It's still there, but it's a mouse, and now I can just push it to the corner. So, and it doesn't stop me from doing anything anymore. And that really is because of the people at Chapman. And I want to advocate for those who have advocated for my kids. And that's why I'm here. And so I hope I've earned your vote, and I'll be happy to answer any of your questions later. I'm number 1 on the ballot, Cindy Lyons for School Committee. Thank you.
Thanks, Cindy. Now, Allegra Marone is going to come up and let us know what she's thinking.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you to the North Weymouth Civic Association and everyone for taking time out of their evening to come and hear what we have to say. My name is Allegra Maroney, and I am a dedicated educator and proud parent of 2 children who attend Seach Elementary School and Chapman Middle School in Weymouth. I'm running for a seat on Weymouth School Committee because I care deeply about public education and the values it upholds. With 16 years of experience in the Revere Public Schools, I have witnessed firsthand how strong partnerships among schools, families, and community organizations can transform individual schools and elevate an entire district's culture. 3 years ago, as a parent, I reached out to the Weymouth School Committee to address an issue at Seach Elementary. The committee amplified my voice and ensured my concerns were heard by district leadership, and they were. That experience demonstrated the power of collaboration and advocacy, inspiring me to serve in that same capacity for others. In January 2024, an opportunity arose when a seat became vacant on the school committee due to a resignation, and I eagerly put my name forward. While I did not secure that position, my passion for serving our community has only grown stronger. I committed myself to forming new relationships with members of the school community and educating myself on policies, processes, and challenges in the district. I remain dedicated to making meaningful changes in Weymouth Public Schools. As a member of the school committee, I want to bolster the voices of parents who deserve to be heard and supported. As both a candidate and an educator, I am passionate about protecting academic freedom and supporting our teachers. Our highly qualified educators should be trusted to do what they do best, teach, while adhering to the state curriculum frameworks. I have been consistently impressed with the quality of instruction my own children receive in Weymouth. Our educators truly excel. We must ensure that educators continue to be empowered to teach in ways that meet the diverse needs of their students. Every classroom is unique, and effective teaching requires flexibility, trust, and professional respect. As a district, we need to listen to our educators, respond to their needs, and maintain a culture of trust, compassion, and transparency. Transparency is crucial in education for all parties involved. Families deserve to know what is happening in our children's schools, from fundraisers to evacuation drills. We need to ensure our children are safe and that rules are applied equitably. Educators also need transparency. When they are heard and feel safe, they perform better and remain in the district. Safety is a growing concern. We've seen increased physical violence against educators nationally. Clear policies in our handbooks will help educators know how to handle such situations effectively. When educators are supported, students are supported. I am committed to creating a collaborative, inclusive environment where students excel, families feel heard, and educators are empowered. Together, we can strengthen Weymouth Public Schools and uplift our entire community. Thank you for your time, and I would be honored to have your support.
Thanks, Allegra. Now we have Kelly McLean who's going to speak to us.
Good evening, and thank you to the North Weymouth Civic Association for hosting this important forum. Events like this give our community the chance to learn more about the people who want to serve them. I hope this evening leaves Weymouth voters feeling prepared to make informed decisions about their vote. My name is Kelly McLean, and I am proud to be running for the Weymouth School Committee. I was born and raised here in Weymouth, and I live in East Weymouth with my husband Doug and our 3 children. Our eldest daughter is a graduate of Weymouth High School, and our youngest 2 children are currently enrolled in Weymouth Public Schools at the Lawrence W. Pingree Elementary School. I hold a master's degree in special education. With over 15 years of experience in education, and as a former Weymouth Public Schools employee, I understand the importance of collaboration, communication, and strong advocacy for our students, our staff, and our families. I'm committed to ensuring that every student has the support and opportunities they need to succeed. My experience here in Weymouth consisted of pre-practicum teaching experience and 2 of Weymouth's substantially separate classrooms. I was a former substitute teacher. I was a one-to-one educational support professional at the Wassagusset Elementary School, and I was a K-2 special education teacher for the IRC program, which was once housed at the Hamilton School. Additionally, I served on the Johnson Early Childhood Parent Council during the 2021 to 2023 school years. My background in special education advocacy distinguishes me from the other candidates. I am currently enrolled in Seat 2 advocacy training with the Council of Parent Attorneys and Advocates, having previously completed their Seat 1 course. Additionally, I have undergone training with the Federation for Children with Special Needs, and I participated in the Massachusetts Leadership Series. These experiences have provided me with an understanding of education laws and regulations, which I will draw upon to work collaboratively with fellow committee members, educators, and families to develop practical policies that support all students in this district. My priorities as a school committee member will be teacher support and training. I will ensure that educators have the resources, the compensation, professional development, and tools they need to help every student succeed. I believe all staff should receive ongoing training and de-escalation strategies, including safety care as well as trauma-informed care, so they are fully equipped to support all students effectively. Address evolving space challenges across the district. I will collaborate on sustainable long-term planning for our district's buildings, classrooms, and office space. Specifically, all of our buildings and modulars, with the exception of Chapman, are scheduled to fill within the next 25 to 30 years. The average school building project can take at least 5 years to complete. We need to take steps now to ensure that Weymouth is not left with a huge emergency. As a school committee member, I will closely monitor trends within our enrollment. Strengthen special education and student services. I will advocate for increasing student support services in terms of staff and resources to meet the increasing needs of our students. This support will consist of expanding mental health and behavioral supports, including increasing the number of board-certified behavior analysts, adjustment counselors, and registered behavior technicians. I will also help collaborate on ways in which the district can better utilize our wraparound center to best support students and their families. I am interested in expanding our relationships with community partnerships, such as South Shore Support Services, the Arc of the South Shore, PPAL, and Aspire Health. Weymouth families need to know these resources exist for them when their child is experiencing challenges and crisis. Community engagement. I am committed to be accessible to all parents, students, educators, and community members. I will actively seek stakeholder input and feedback on important decisions. I hope that I have earned your support here this evening and your vote on Tuesday, November 4th. Please remember that I'm third on the ballot. If you'd like to learn more about me, I invite and encourage you to follow me on Facebook, Kelly McLean for Weymouth School Committee, or you can email me at mcleanforweymouth@gmail.com. Thank you.
Thanks, Kelly. Now we're going to have Peter. I'm going to stumble over your name, so I'm going to let you say it.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for WETC and North Weymouth Civic Association for putting this together tonight. Thank you for everyone here for taking your time out of your evening to come hear us all and speak. My name is Peter Crasso, and I'm running for Weymouth School Committee. My wife and I have raised our family in Weymouth over the past 20 years. I've been a youth sports coach, I was president of Weymouth Youth Lacrosse for many years, and I've run parent boosters. I have a finance and project management background, working in financial services for the past 25 years. I'm open-minded to new challenges, and this would be presented regularly as a school committee member. Funding is going to be extremely tight, and one of my biggest strengths is utilizing and finding resources. I would like the opportunity to collaborate with the school administration and town to get our educational goals accomplished. Help research and look for grants and funding opportunities. With our kids growing out of the school system, I want to continue giving back to our amazing community. I believe I will make a great addition to the school committee as I have the experience of knowing the challenges and needs of students and families in Weymouth. With one child already graduated and the other a high school junior, I am now here for the younger families in our community to listen to what they need and advocate for them, to ensure they have all the resources available as my kids did growing up in the Weymouth school systems. Overall, why I'm running? I love this town. We have great people, we have committed elected officials. Our current school administration and staff are doing a great job. I want to be there to support them in every way we can. I want to ensure our educators have all the resources they need to make all of our kids successful. My daughters are part of the Weymouth public school community. My older daughter graduated this past spring and is thriving in college based on the great education she received at Weymouth Public Schools. My younger daughter is currently in the wonderful CTE Allied Health program at Weymouth High School, where she is going to have the ability to graduate with an EKG certificate, CNA, and phlebotomy license. My nieces are on IEPs and are each part of the special education program. One is thriving in an integrated program at Weymouth High School, and the other is placed in an out-of-district program that perfectly fits her needs and her growth and daily living. I want to ensure we have the proper funding going forward to support not just these programs, but all programs that fit the needs of every child, of every student and every child in our school system. All students deserve positive, affirming, and challenging education. Fiscal responsibility is also the cornerstone of a top-notch school system. I have the financial background and experience necessary to propose and oversee budgets and work with our school committee and finance to ensure we are proposing the best possible budget on a yearly basis. Overall, just highlighting my priorities: inclusivity, to ensure all kids have the same opportunities, to help schools safe, keep our schools safe and inclusive for all of our children. I want to be a parent sounding board to support the needs of all students and their families across Weymouth. And I want to be able to collaborate with the school committee members to propose a sustainable budget that meets the needs of our schools. Again, I'm Peter Crosso, and thank you for the time this evening. I'm number 4 on the ballot, and I would appreciate your vote on November 4th. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter Krasow. Next up is Joe Bronski.
All right, are we good, Becky? All right. First of all, thank you to the North Weymouth Civic Association for hosting this forum tonight. It's good to be with all the candidates here tonight. Thank you for the WETC for filming this, and thank you to everybody for coming out here tonight. My name is Joe Bronski, and I am a candidate for the Weymouth School Committee. I attended the Weymouth Public Schools K through 12. I'm a lifelong resident of the town of Weymouth. I first started here in North Weymouth, going to the Johnson Early Childhood Center. And then I went to Nash for transitional kindergarten, Wessagusset, grades 1 through 4, Chapman, grades 5 through 8, and Weymouth High School, grades 9 through 12. So I'm a wildcat through and through. I'm running for the school committee to benefit the public schools and to help better the public schools. Currently, right now, I am still very actively involved in my community. Even though I graduated almost a decade ago in 2016, I still continued to stay involved. When I was in school, I served on the Student Voice Summit and also the Student Advisory Board. Currently, right now, I serve on the Community Events Committee. Being involved has always been a passion of mine, and it will still be a passion of mine going till the day I die. I was also a student of special education. I had a lot of learning disabilities. Some, I'd say 90% of them were met. Some of them, unfortunately, we did not have the resources to have them met. However, it did force me to find ways that I learned best. My special education journey began back in 2003 in transitional kindergarten. Yes, I remember the year. I then had occupational therapy in grades 1 through 4 at Wessagusset. That's where I developed my love of puzzles, strategy, and the game of chess. I still do puzzles and play chess to this very day. By middle school, I was on a 504 plan. It was something that helped with my learning disabilities. It showed where I had learning problems and different weaknesses and how to navigate and solve them. My analytical, English, research, geography, and history skills were great. Algebra, not so much, even though I did excel at statistics and geometry. Today, I currently own a business called Ancestors Trail. I specialize in genealogical research, but I conduct multiple areas of professional research for my clients. I research, I identify what I found, I write a report and provide any recommended solutions or things to do if necessary. Everything I learned in the Weymouth Public Schools helps me in my professional life today, and I will continue to use my professional skills that I have in my research business on the school committee to make informed decisions. If it wasn't for certain accommodations, I might never have been able to find myself to do it to this day. I want to make sure every student in the Weymouth Public Schools has the same opportunity that I did. I want to find out what piques their interest, how to get more students involved in the school, what their passions are, and where they might need help. I will always advocate for special education. As a student of special education, I am passionate about it. To every student and parent of a student who has kids in the special education in Weymouth, I will always have your back and I will always advocate for you. Student achievement is also very important to me, giving the opportunity to every student to achieve their goals, and the help and resources to do it is a high priority of mine, as well as giving them a safe, welcoming environment to learn and excel in. I love Weymouth. Weymouth is my hometown. I grew up here. I'm probably going to die here. I am running because I want everyone to have the same opportunity that I did. I want to bring my research skills from my profession to the school committee to advocate and work hard on behalf of every student in the town of Weymouth. I will research, advocate, listen, but I will most importantly listen because active listening is part of researching. I will ask questions, look at the budget, come to good conclusions, and work hard to make sure that all the needs are being met to the best of our ability. This role is a time commitment. I have the time to commit to it, and I will give the time that it needs. Not for me, but for the children and the future of this town. I'm going to conclude by saying this. This is something that I read once on the side of the Pennsylvania State Senate Finance Building. Public service is a trust, given in faith and accepted in honor. It would be the honor of my lifetime to have the trust and faith of the voters of this town to serve on our school committee. I will work tirelessly and I will not give up despite the challenge. I humbly ask for your vote Tuesday, November 4th, or at early voting. Once again, I'm Joe Bronski. I'm running for the school committee, number 5 on the ballot. Thank you.
Thanks, Joe. Now, Ashley, I'm sorry, I'm good with names. Ashley Dickerman. I'm going home.
Hello. Can everybody hear me okay? I'm really short, so I usually ask that when I get up here. Hello, my name is Ashley Dickerman. First off, I'd like to thank the North Weymouth Civic Association for organizing tonight's forum and all that they do for our community. They work very hard, and I'd like to recognize that. I'd also like to thank the WETC crew for making sure that this forum and other events are accessible to the community. They also work very hard, and I'd like to recognize them. Also, thank you to all of you who are taking time out of your busy lives to attend tonight or to tune in later to make sure you are informed as you go about casting your votes. A little bit about me. I was raised in Brockton, and I'm the product of Brockton Public Schools. I was also an English teacher from 2010 to 2015 at Brockton High School. I feel so fortunate to be from and have experience as an educator in a large, diverse public school system. The years I spent as a Brockton educator were some of the best years of my life. Previous to becoming a classroom educator, I was a substitute teacher, para, and long-term sub, and I worked for the Smart Start Extended Day program. I can't say enough good things about the students, families, and staff that I was able to work alongside during those years. Even though I'm not originally from Weymouth, my husband and his family are. The property I live on has been in our family for literally 100 years. Before there was Pleasant Street, there was a fabric store called Fitzgerald's Fabric, and they had a farm with all types of animals. At one point, my mother-in-law even had a monkey. It's true. There's a history book with the fabric store in there, and I think there's a picture of her with the monkey. My father-in-law's father, Herbert Dickerman, owned Dickerman's Garage not far from there. And my father-in-law's mother, Ruth Dickerman, also worked for the schools. My husband and I have been together for 16 years, and the land I live on means just as much to me as it does to him. We purposely built a house next to my husband's family because we wanted to instill the value of family in our children. I took a break from teaching to pursue our dreams of growing our family. My husband and I had a long and complicated experience, to say the least. My first son, Junior, was a NICU baby. My second son, Jeremiah, passed away unexpectedly at 5 days old. And even though I am high risk every time I'm pregnant, I was able to work with a qualified team of specialists at the Brigham to bring home my rainbow baby Ben and my surprise daughter, Emma. Between my own research and advocacy and working with qualified healthcare professionals, we succeeded in growing our family, and I am very proud of the resilience, bravery, and persistence my husband and I have shown through that process. The support of our family and friends also contributed to making our dreams of growing our family a reality. We've really needed our community to carry us through trauma, grief, pregnancy after loss, and the ultimate joy of bringing life into the world. After my oldest started attending school, I started to get involved in volunteering as a parent. I served as co-vice president on the Siege Parent Council. After that, I started to attend school committee meetings and subcommittee meetings. I interviewed for the school committee interim position along with Allegra, and I did not get it. However, in a turn of events, I had an opportunity to revive Weymouth Townwide Parent Council. I decided to take that opportunity, and I'm so glad I did. With a new board, we successfully brought new life and consistency into Weymouth Townwide Parent Council. It's an advocacy group that was created over 40 years ago by parents who wanted to make sure their voices were heard when it came to their children and their education. I believe my experience as an educator combined with my personal experience in motherhood make me a qualified candidate for school committee. I have already contributed positively to the community, and I'm looking forward to earning your vote and hopefully contributing as an elected school committee member. Thank you all again for taking the time out of your busy lives to attend tonight. I hope you have learned more about me through the forum, but more importantly, I'm looking forward to learning more about you. As an elected official, my goal would be to do more listening than talking. I want to make sure your voice is heard, and I promise to listen to you and take your concerns seriously, to find you answers when you need them, to research topics that are at stake when making important decisions, and to help be your voice. Truly, this position is more about showing up for you than it is about my ideas. I'm interested in your ideas and your needs as a community. I humbly ask for your vote on November 4th. I'm number 6 and last on the ballot. I'm looking forward to serving you and being someone that you can trust.
Thank you, Ashley. That finishes up with the school committee candidates, and we're going to go right into the Councilor at large, and we're going to start with Fred Happel.
Good evening, everybody. I want to thank the North Weymouth Civic Association for putting this event together tonight. I also want to thank WETC and everybody that came out here tonight to watch this, and everybody at home that'll be tuning in. My name is Fred Happel, and I was lucky enough to grow up here in North Weymouth. I took swimming lessons at the old beach, played baseball at O'Sullivan Park, worked as a kid at the old ADAP on Bridge Street, and I attended Johnson School when it was a school, not early intervention. From there, I graduated from Weymouth North High School. I attended UMass Boston, where I received a Bachelor of Arts degree. Shortly after college, I married my wife, Julie, and started working at the Norfolk County Sheriff's Office as a corrections officer, where I am still employed. We have raised our 2 sons, Michael and Sean, here in Weymouth. I was first elected to the council in 2017. During that time, I have been the chair of the Public Safety Committee. As a chair of the Public Safety Committee, I've advocated to ensure that our community is safe. Fire response times, engine manned by 4 firefighters, and the opening of Station 2 are all issues that are important to me, along with making sure our police force is properly staffed and equipped. The opening of Station 2 on Broad Street was very important to the residents of North Weymouth. When Engine 1 on North Street has a call, it takes them out of service in this area. If another emergency happens, now the response will be coming from Broad Street instead of the Winter Street station. And as we know, seconds count when responding to an emergency. I have voted to fund street and sidewalks improvements. I am the town council representative on the Community Preservation Committee that helped fund Bale Park. Moving forward, we have the task of solving the water problem, the development of Union Point, and specifically here in North Weymouth, we have an issue with the federal government pulling funds for the 4 Points seawall. I recently toured that area with the residents, and that is a high priority that we should have. And I want to actually thank Mayor Melise. There was an issue there with overgrowth on the seawall, and the DPW took care of it. I also have concerns about the status of the Marinol situation, Pilgrim Church, and the old library that is closed, and the redevelopment of the 3A corridor. We live in a great town that we can all be proud of, whether it's our 5 Medal of Honor winners, or our NHL stars, Bobby Sheehan, Charlie Coyle, or former Bruin Timmy Sweeney, who grew up right down the street here, and all the other leaders and success stories that Weymouth has produced. One of my favorite and proudest accomplishments was the founding of the Weymouth Irish Heritage Day Parade. Each year in September, a parade and festival is put together where we invite all the youth groups, civic groups, and local businesses to come together and have a day of community fun. On that day, it's great to see all the smiles and the joy, and at the end, it gives thanks from the committee who puts all that work into it and sees the results that we get. It has been an honor to represent the town I love and grew up in and have raised my kids in. I respectfully ask you to please let me serve with another term. There are many new faces running this year, and I think their addition will bring new ideas and a fresh outlook. I wish everyone who is running the best of luck. It's been a very clean campaign, so I thank you. Again, my name is Fred Happel, and on November 4th, I'll be number 2 on the ballot, and I would appreciate your support. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Fred. Next, we have an unusual situation. Rick Coughlin was unable to be here tonight due to a really important family commitment. So he's asked Tim Kelly to read a statement in his place.
I got to say, I'm honored to actually been chosen for this, and all of you that come out every week to donate your time and work in the grassroots, you're above and beyond what I've achieved. Okay, I have to read something. I'm not that good at reading. I usually just speak and just keep going, but this is from Rick Coughlin, and I'm honored that he asked me to do this. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you this evening through this letter. I'm sorry I can't be with you in person. Long-standing family commitment out of state. Ask me about it. It's really cool. It's been a long time plan. Prevents me from attending. This event is one I always look forward to, as it feels like a true homecoming. I grew up on Lavelle Street, spent my summers at Wessagusset Beach, so North Weymouth will always hold a special place in my heart. My proxy name is Rick Coughlin, and I'm honored to serve as your counselor at large here in the town of Weymouth. I'm a third-generation resident with my wife, Cheryl, 51 years, and I've proudly raised our family here. Nearly 30 years ago, I founded Coughlin & Company Real Estate, a small local brokerage that helped countless families move into and within Weymouth. Over the years, I've also served as town meeting member, a member of the Fair Housing Commission and its Affordable Housing Subcommittee, and as an advocate for the Music Parents Association, supporting our school's music and arts programs. Currently, I serve on the Budget, Management, Ordinance, Public Works, and Environmental Committees, and the Town Council. and I make it a priority to attend as many neighborhood meetings as possible, listening to residents' ideas, concerns, and hopes for Weymouth's future. For too long, North Weymouth has been one of the town's forgotten villages. That's changing. From the renovation of Abigail Adams Park at the Hingham Line to improvements at Beals Park and the Route 3A Bicknell Square traffic and zoning study, progress is happening. Growing up, Bicknell Square was a vibrant business district filled with small shops, a true heart of the community. I believe we can bring back that energy and spirit. A revitalized Bicknell Square means more local businesses, walkable neighborhoods, safe streets, and a renewed sense of place. Just as Weymouth Landing and Columbian Square are now thriving and Jackson Square is beginning its transformation, it's time to bring that same vitality to North Weymouth. We are also making long overdue progress on the North Weymouth waterfront. The new connector between Wessagusset and Lane Beaches will provide a scenic walkway and stabilize the coastal bank with vegetation management. We still need to address the seawall issues at Fort Point and along the rest of the coastline. I also support the recent proposal, as Mayor Molice's executive order, allowing leashed dogs on Wessagusset and Lane Beaches during the off-season. Please share your feedback at the town reviews through May 2026. Of course, not every development proposal is right for the community. The Mary Knoll project, which sought to build 40,000 square foot structure with 48 units, was completely out of scale for the neighborhood. So thanks to your strong community turnout and engagement, that project did not move forward. Your involvement here truly makes a difference. Thank you. Weymouth is on a strong path forward under former Mayor Bob Hedlund and now under Mayor Mike Molice. We are seeing responsible growth and real progress. But as new voices join the town council, we must ensure that experience and continuity are not lost. I bring both. And along with a deep commitment to serving every neighborhood of this town, I humbly ask for your continued support and your vote on November 4. I am Rick Kaufman. I am Councilor at Large, number 3 on the ballot. Thank you again for allowing me to address this evening. Please don't hesitate to reach out with your thoughts or concerns. I truly enjoy hearing from you. 781-335-0717. rccoughlin@weymouth.math.ma.us or through my website, rickforweymouth.org. Warm regards, Rick Coughlin, Councilor at Large, Town of Weymouth.
Well, if I didn't know better, I think you'd spoken publicly before. Excuse me. Next up is Andrew Donovan for Councilor at Large. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and thank you for everyone for being here tonight, and a special thank you to the North Weymouth Civic Association for organizing this, and also thank you to all of my fellow candidates for being here, and most importantly, thank you to all of you for coming to listen and hopefully hear a little bit about a vision for the town of Weymouth and what we hope to do. My name is Andrew Donovan. I'm running for town council at large. I live in South Weymouth on Union Street with my wife, Shannon. I grew up in Dorchester at St. Anne's Parish, and the youngest of 4 children to my loving parents, Chris and Ed Donovan. Dorchester is the place that really taught me about the importance of a tight-knit, close community. And during that time, I had the chance to attend St. Anne's School. I then went to Boston Latin Academy for high school, and then later went to St. Anselm College, where I studied Latin and Ancient Greek. I met my wife Shannon there, and St. Anselm College has been an incredibly important piece of our family legacy. My oldest daughter, Lily, is now a freshman at St. Anselm, and we couldn't be prouder of that. But along the lines, one of the things that Shannon and I did when we decided that we were going to build a family and build our life together, that tight-knit community was essential to what we envisioned. And naturally, we chose Weymouth as our destination for a place to build a family. And it's been the best decision that we've ever made. We've been here for 21 years, and through that time, our children's passion has really grown into our passions. And what I mean by that specifically is when my daughters Lily and Anna started attending St. Francis Xavier in South Weymouth, we immediately became very involved with the school. I was appointed to the Marketing and Development Committee for the school, where I applied for and received a rather large grant from the Archdiocese of Boston to improve the marketing and the development efforts of the school. In addition to that, our children then got heavily involved in local activities, particularly in sports. They attended both Weymouth girls soccer, Weymouth youth soccer, Weymouth lacrosse, as Pete will tell you, Weymouth basketball, but where they really fell in love was their passion for hockey. And they participated in Weymouth Youth Hockey, and I've been incredibly active with Weymouth Youth Hockey. In fact, some of you in this room here tonight know me as Coach Dunny. For over 7 years, I served on the board of directors for Weymouth Youth Hockey, where I had also served as the instructional director. As instructional director, it afforded me the opportunity to teach over 500 children in Weymouth how to either skate and or play hockey. And it's really been one of the biggest pleasures of my entire life, and particularly my time here in Weymouth. But one of the things that I can really say about both of those experiences between St. Francis Xavier and Weymouth Youth Hockey is those activities typically had me meet the folks directly at the rink or at the school. The best part about running for this particular office is it has allowed me the opportunity to go and meet all of those people that I've met along the way at their homes and in their community, and to hear specifically about the challenges that they've been facing here in Weymouth. I think that all of us can agree that Weymouth is growing and growing quickly. There are three main issues that I am focused on, and I will focus on as a Weymouth Town Councilor at large. They're safety, services, and systems. And what I mean by that, safety, I think that Weymouth is a very safe town. But what I would like to see is that our fire and our emergency personnel grow with that and make sure that we have the resources and the services necessary to meet the needs of the growing town. When it comes to services, I think the Whipple Center is a perfect example of that. We've seen 3 developments in Weymouth where we've welcomed new assisted living facilities. I want to make sure that we continue to offer the services necessary to our seniors, and that they all are met not only for our new residents, but the residents that have been here for a very long time. And then finally, when it comes to systems, our systems is in reference to our infrastructure. I want to make sure that the water, the power, and all of the utilities meet the needs of our growing town. So with that being said, I'll close very quickly. My current role is I'm the Director of Business Development at Bentley University. I've built a career in terms of connecting with organizations and individuals and helping to solve problems. That's the type of skill set that I look to bring to the Weymouth Town Council. I ask for your support. Andrew Donovan, number 4 on the ballot on November 4th. Thank you all very much.
Thanks, Coach. Steve Shinney's going to be next.
Thank you, everyone, for coming out tonight. Thank you, Jeff, and thank you for the rest of the board members out back that you're not seeing right now, selling the world-famous North Weymouth t-shirts that you can get at the end of this for $5. If you don't know, I'm also a board member of North Weymouth Civic, so I'm going to upsell them a little bit. Also, cookies out back by Mary and Dick. So thank you all for hanging out back. As Jeff said, my name is Stephen Shinney, lifelong resident of North Weymouth. I grew up one of 5 to 2 wonderful parents, Ann Shinney and Paul Shinney. I had a great childhood here, and that's why I'm still here. I only moved 100 yards away from where I grew up at Wassagusset Beach. I truly love this community, and I didn't even go far to find a wife, 3 miles down the road. So I found everything in one town. So thank you. She also gave me 2 wonderful sons, Liam and Keegan, that are the loves of my life, my little supporters out back. So thank you for showing up. I'm a 19-year member of local IBW 103. I've been able to run large jobs like the Encore Casino, little parts of that one, and then as small as Union Point right here in Weymouth. For community involvement, I've been a member of North Weymouth Civic for 6 years. Thank you for Becky for stepping down to run a council at large, so I took her spot, but now she's back on the board where we need her. I've been trying to stay engaged when I moved back to North Weymouth by being involved at all the meetings. Mary Knoll most recently, Bales Park for all of those meetings, and even the Bridge Street corridor. And the thing was, it wasn't just me, it was all of you there too. And trying to be that voice. When the people that couldn't be there, I was trying to put it on the North Weymouth is Everything page, trying to share as much out there as I could, and staying positive. You see some of the other pages in Weymouth, they're negative. Not here in North Weymouth. We're positive, we uplift, and that's what I want to be part of. And that's what is why we're all here today. This is the biggest turnout we've ever had here, I believe, Jeff. Yeah, and it's fantastic that we have this much involvement in a small part of town. So thank you. I'm also the president of the Weymouth Vietnam Memorial. I took that over in 2019 when the Weymouth Vietnam vets were getting too old. So I stepped up when I saw Frank Burke, who couldn't stand up at the time, and I said, I can't have him do this anymore. So I took over. I've been doing little upgrades slowly. We got a sign, so when you come from Hingham, you can see it. And then I also got a grant from the state for $10,000 for the brand new brick walkway. And with that brick walkway, every Weymouth Vietnam era veteran gets a free brick. The economy is pretty tough out there with the cost of electricity, gas, and everything else. So I didn't feel like it was right to make them pay for a brick. So that will be all funded by me and the state. I volunteer for the Weymouth Youth Soccer. I've been a coach now for 3 years, coaching both my sons' teams. I also give back working with an organization for the DCF. You might see me on some Christmas cards. They get a professional face painter, and they paint me as the Grinch. I dance around. All the kids love it, and I also scare them. My priorities in town is public safety. We need to make sure, like incidents that happen behind my house at the parking lot, where people are looking for that reverse 911 call, we need to make sure that there are some types of outreach through the town so people know what's going on in scary moments. We need to make sure that the fire department has everything they need, that we're not leaning on Quincy to make sure when Fire Station 1's down that we don't have to go too far. But we need smart, common sense building, but listening to you. Make sure that's what you want. You don't want that building right there, and you all showed up for it. And that's what I want to be here. I want to be your voice down at Town Hall. We have to do smart growth, bring in a commercial base so our taxes don't go up. We have the lowest taxes in the South Shore. I'd like to keep it that way. But I want to keep Weymouth affordable with a balance of growth, affordability, and community character. So with my closing remarks, I love this community. It's so strong for all your families, the seniors, and the future generations like my sons out back. So on November 4th, please consider me, Stephen Shinney, spot number 5 on the ballot. Thank you.
And I think he's pretty close. Maybe one other time when there was a contested mayoral election, we had a few more people because they were standing outside listening at the open windows. But this is huge. Thank you. This is Chris Heffernan that's going to speak.
Thank you, Jeff. I want to thank the WETC and the North Weymouth Civic Association, as well. I believe the North Weymouth Civic Association is in its 54th year. That's quite the legacy, and I think we all hope for 54 more. I am a lifelong resident of the town of Weymouth, growing up on South Weymouth off of Union Street, and I'm a proud product of our public schools. And from my earliest days, I remember holding signs for local politicians in Weymouth and surrounding communities. I grew up with 2 very politically involved parents, my father more so. That interest took hold when I attended Weymouth High School, and I see a few school committee members here that remember me as their student advisory board member that used to come and bother them back in the day, and they're still very surprised I'm still here. After Weymouth High School, I moved on, and I believe being a product of Weymouth Public Schools gave me the ability to move on to Suffolk University to achieve a bachelor's degree in government and move on to a graduate degree in government as well. I now work in state government, and I've worked at the State House and several state agencies as well. But when I think about what first inspired me to get involved in public service, to run in 2017, I always go back to the days of the Great Recession, about a decade and a half ago. That period in global history, US history, and local history has forever altered the pathways of our communities globally and locally. I was still in high school right here in Weymouth when that occurred, and I remember how difficult those years were for our town. Revenues were down, budgets were tight, and we faced hard choices just to keep things running. There was even a time when Town Hall had to be closed on Wednesdays to save money. Our roads, parks, and public spaces showed the strain dramatically, and every improvement felt like it had to wait for a better day, which finally did come. Those experiences stayed with me. They gave me a real appreciation for how local government decisions affect everyday life and how important it is to protect a community's financial stability, but also a community in general. That's one of the reasons I first ran for the town council 8 years ago. I wanted to help move Weymouth beyond those difficult years into a new era of stability, pride, and progress. Over the past 8 years, I've been honored to help do just that, working alongside residents and colleagues. We've helped put Weymouth in a strong position. Today, Weymouth's finances are stable, even as other communities struggle with deficits or rely on multiple overrides just to sustain basic services. I believe that we should always be seeking to innovate, to try new things, and not be discouraged in the face of challenges we may see as momentarily insurmountable. We will face challenges in the years ahead, but government is at its best when it is open-minded, innovative, and keeps an eye to the future. Serving the people of Weymouth has truly been one of the greatest honors of my life. Together we've faced real challenges, achieved real results, improving infrastructure, supporting our schools, standing up for our residents, standing up for our taxpayers, and enhancing the quality of life in every neighborhood, and that work continues. Now Weymouth is about to begin a new chapter with a new mayor and a new administration. Of course, we will face challenges in our future, but we will also face new opportunities to keep our town moving forward. My commitment remains the same, to fight for our community, to be a strong and steady voice for every resident, and to work with our new leadership to continue building on the progress that has been made. I love this town, its history, its resiliency, and its people. From its roots as one of the oldest settlements in Massachusetts to the thriving community it is today, Weymouth has been defined by hard work, pride, and heart. I look forward to earning your trust and your vote this November and continuing the work we've started together. Please consider supporting me, Chris Heffernan, number 9 on the ballot on November 4th. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Chris. Now Allison is going to tell us her dreams.
Hi, everyone. My name is Allison Dossett. I want to thank all of you for coming out tonight. I see some very familiar and friendly faces, folks who've come to my neighborhood when we were in need, and I've actually been, in the last couple of years, able to come when you were in need. So thank you so much to you folks and to the North Weymouth Civic Association for hosting tonight, and WETC for broadcasting to families at home. My name is Allison Dossett. I'm running for Councilor at Large. I'm a 34-year resident of Weymouth. I was actually born here, but my parents were city slickers, and they thought Weymouth was the country. So they brought us to Boston, and I grew up in Roslindale. I'm one of the earlier graduates of co-ed Boys Latin. There were a lot of folks on staff there that really wanted that desegregation project to fail, and happily they were mistaken. And the girls, the women who graduated, are now all thriving, and we had a wonderful experience together and are now working with our communities to try and improve lives there. For my experience in coming here, my husband and I didn't want to raise a family in the city. We were encouraged by colleagues and friends to check out Weymouth, which was a secret. When we came here and looked at property, we interviewed neighbors and asked, well, what's so great about Weymouth? And the enthusiasm was overwhelming. Weymouth was our first stop in looking for property and our last. Our first home was on Keith Street in the Landing, and we currently live in the Pond Meadow area in South Weymouth. Currently, I am an operations manager for a large hospital system. We oversee over 3,000 nurses and are responsible for their competencies, budget, skill set improvement, education, professional development, and hospital accreditation. So the question is, why am I here? Well, about 10 years ago, my neighborhood was threatened by a development project, which was actually, in retrospect, so inappropriate it should never have seen the light of day. This forced our neighborhood to band together and form a group called Friends of Fennell. Friends of Fennell researched, leveraged the talents of our neighbors, some of whom were lawyers, some were workers with DPWs, and some folks were contract negotiators who were able to dissect contracts that the town and the developers had put together, and which were wholly inappropriate for our space. We fought, and we won. Since that time, we've seen similar situations occur in other neighborhoods. Most of these neighborhoods have existed for 60 years and never been touched. I bring this up because as we are on the threshold of MWRA, you are going to see an extensive amount of property acquisition across the community, and in particular in North Weymouth. Weymouth is a hidden jewel, but North Weymouth has the ocean, and the ocean is always highly desirable for investors. There are a lot of properties that are blighted, and I can personally say if I had the money, I'd be picking them up right now myself. The goal of the council is to be aware of where our vulnerabilities are across the community in terms of zoning and potential threat to R1. Neighbors should not have to band together and incur incredible legal fees such as mine and some other folks, including Mary Knoll. The council should be addressing as pre-work, understanding where these vulnerabilities lie in terms of zoning and being preemptive and ensuring policy and process will be adhered to before projects get too far along. Because once the water starts to flow, there is going to be a significant uptick. I would appreciate your consideration of me on November 4th for Councilor at Large. North Weymouth is going to be, along with Union Point, one of the hotbeds for development, and of that you should be mindful, and you should be in a constant conversation with your councilors at large and your district councilor to ensure your voice is heard and that you have a seat at the table. Thank you.
This is Pascal Berger.
Hi, good evening. Thank you for coming out. My name is Pascal Berger. I see a lot of new faces in the room. I think it's great that we have all this new people running and getting interest of new neighbors. I think it's fantastic. My name is Pascal Berger. I've not been born and raised in Weymouth, but I lived here for 25 years. I chose to raise my family here. I've been a 15-year board member of the North Weymouth Civic Association, so I'm very familiar with how these things work. I think I used to be the timer when I first started. And I've been a 6-year I've been your district councilor for the past 6 years, working hard on behalf of you. I'm currently the first female vice president of the Weymouth Town Council, and in November I will be the interim president of the Town Council. This 5 minutes is a lot to wrap up and say the work that I've done, but I can start quickly and tell you a little bit about the things that have happened in our district and my accomplishments. So I was a strong advocate and very supportive and involved in the Beals Park project, and due to my advocacy, it's why it started, and I thank the council's support for that. We also have lots of road work that happened first. We had a lot of road paving projects here in North Weymouth that happened recently, the first in Weymouth. And we've had some improvements to Beals Park. We had some improvements to Bridge Street. Some abandoned buildings have been developed into attractive projects. So those are some of the accomplishments. There's a lot. There's a lot of things that didn't happen as well. There was a proposal for a gas station and an apartment building that was supposed to happen or was trying to happen on Bridge Street. That did not happen. We had a gas station put outdoor lifts on Bridge Street, and we took those down right away. And another gas station tried to take over the little public park that's on Bridge Street to use that for his own private business. So that didn't happen. Those are just a few of the examples. of the successes that I've had over the few years. The priorities that are happening to Weymouth now, the most important things are development and Union Point, and then we also have the MWRA issue. MWRA issue is one of the most important issues to affect our town and happen to our town in recent years. MWRA water will be a clean source of water for generations to come. There'll be no PFAS. We can help development, careful development, and I'll talk about that a little bit more if I have time. Careful development, not just for Weymouth, but for the communities south of Weymouth. There's communities counting on clean water sources for their communities as well, so that's an important piece to that. Thinking back to development, as you know, Weymouth has been developing, and it's not just necessarily the town that's wanting that to happen. It's mandates by the state. The state is pushing us for many different reasons, lack of housing, but it's important that your district councilor and your councilors at large are really fighting to advocate for the type of development that we want and we want to see happening. And so it's really important that we're electing the people in office that understand these issues going forward. Trying to think of all the things that I would have written down, but I wanted to speak to you of the issues that are important. I raised my family here in Weymouth. My son is a graduate of Weymouth High School, went on to get a degree in college. My son is an active member of the Coast Guard. My husband's an active member of the Massachusetts Army National Guard. I'm a proud military mom and a proud military wife. I own a small business. There's so much to say, and I have another minute. The other things that are important to me in Weymouth are making sure that we have a council elected that knows the issues that are facing Weymouth, that have been working hard. I have been working very hard for you the past 6 years, and I hope you've been noticing. I recognize many of you from talking to you on the phone and resolving your issues, and I hope going forward for the election, you'll consider me to serve the next 2 years for the Weymouth Town Council. Thank you.
Thanks, Pascal. Next is Kathy Kelly.
Finally, the last one, then everyone can go, right? Thank you, everyone, for being here tonight. Thank you for North Weymouth Civic Association. I just want to say a couple of things. I do want to congratulate Pascal for being the first woman for being the vice president of council, because that is huge. I also want to shout out to Allison for being the only woman running for a council at large, okay? My name is Kathy Robert Kelly. I'm running for District 1. I'm a proud lifetime resident of North Weymouth. This is my home. I'm married to my husband, Kevin, for 34 years. He's also born and raised in Weymouth, North Weymouth. We are blessed with a wonderful daughter, and I have 2 twin grandchildren. They're our world. I work as a security officer for a high school. And I just want to clarify a few things because there's so many rumors going around that it's security. It's not the FBI. It is security only, okay? Just want to clarify that. The other thing is that I am a cancer survivor, so I know how precious life is. The reason why I'm running is a few reasons, but the main reason is I know how important health, family, and our sense of safety is in the community that matters. When the peace of my home was threatened by a local issue, I reached out to the town for help. And I was faced with our hands are tied. That moment changed me right there. Our home should be our safe place. When the safety is compromised, we deserve leaders who stand beside us, listen with heart, and fight for what's right. This is the kind of candidate I would intend to be. I want to be clear. What I care about is making sure the laws we have to protect our homes and neighborhoods are followed and enforced. I believe decisions should be made with the people, not for the people. There's so many other things that I want to say, but I'm going to hold off on that part. There's the things about North Weymouth that I'm finding that we have issues with. By going out and campaigning and knocking on doors, one of the things is the 4 Point Road, which the seawall. That is a major issue down there. When we get storms and that road floods and the road is shut down, not only is it just, it's not an inconvenience to the people. These people are our neighbors. These are their homes. And again, your home should be your safe place. My main concern, which I'm sure other people's main concern should be, is if these roads are shut down during a storm, how can an emergency vehicle be down there? How can an emergency vehicle get down there? So we're gonna wait for a safety, like something tragic to happen to realize that that seawall should have been fixed a long time ago. I know that there's funds and it's kind of on hold right now, but I think that that should be looked into now rather than later. I do believe in infrastructure, but I also believe that we need to deal with a lot of issues, water being one of them. It's like when you build a house, you need a good foundation to build a house. You're not gonna build a house on a foundation that's not a good foundation. I promise that I will call you back. I know what it's like when you're calling people and you're waiting for an answer and no one calls you back. I'm not a politician. I'm not a politician. I'm one of you. I'm a neighbor. I'm a friend. I'm a mother. I'm one of you. I'm here to fight what I believe is right, what I believe is right for all of us. And yes, there's going to be new people on the council, but I think sometimes change is new. Change is great. New change is great. We have a new mayor here, who's working great with people. And don't get me wrong, the former administration, there's great things that were done. Bill Parks was done great. There's other things out there, but let me think of that other one. I also want to say that I want to give a shout out to Weymouth Firefighters Local 1616 for endorsing me. I do appreciate that. I'm a proud member of Teamsters Local 12, 122. Am I done? Okay. Sorry, I know she's got 5 seconds. I'm sorry, there's just so much. All I want to say is I'll be a strong voice for the people, listening with compassion, respecting every concern, and working to make sure every voice in our community is heard. My name is Kathy Robachelli. I'm running for District 1 Councilor, and I hope to earn your vote. I'm number 2 on the ballot. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kathy. So that's the end of the speaking part, I guess you would call it. We want to thank everybody, all the candidates and all of you folks especially for coming out. As usual, which is I think Stephen alluded to, we're shamelessly selling T-shirts in the back of the room. And since the winter's coming, we have hoodies. And the T-shirts are $5, the hoodies are $25. I would give a shout out at this point to 3A Gear. There's a local company, a couple of local guys that do the T-shirts for us. And they make it possible for us to have these really bargain prices, so that's good. So at this point, we're going to break up the crowd up front here. And if you folks would head to your tables or wherever you want to go, just so you can mingle with the crowd and talk, get some one-on-one answers. We have the room until 9. I'm sure they won't throw us out right at 9.